Hey everyone, my name is Colton Davis, and today we're going to be talking about social media's impact on us, both the bad and some a little bit of the good. So, to start, we're just going to talk about some history, and I want to talk about, social media hasn't been around for a while, but its impact on us has been really profound, and we can just see this in a 10-year time frame right here. So we have the first LinkedIn, but the big one I want to talk about is Facebook. Facebook, we'll go a little bit into that. Mark Zuckerberg, he was in college at Harvard. He's a Harvard dropout, and that's what he is. But he started in 2004, and around his first year, just around college campuses, he reached 6 million users. And then now, by 2022, the year we are now, he's reached a little over 6 billion users. And so that's a really profound growth. Moving into its original use, Facebook or Face Smash. Before Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg created Face Smash, similar to Facebook, but was created as a website that its main purpose was used to as a rating system for women in colleges. This website started in the Ivy League schools, but soon spread across the West Coast, mainly Stanford, and then it broadened out. Only after gaining popularity, Mark changed his creation to what we know today as Facebook, a little more family friendly. But this creates a question about what was his main purpose. He knew he had a for sure app that boys would go on to rate women, but when he knew he had something, he had a hidden nugget, really something powerful, he changed. So does he actually value us, or does he just care about profits? Now we'll go into the concerns. Social media presents many problems to young adolescents and young adults. Um, And so that's why I think limiting or cutting social media from our daily life in adolescence and young adulthood can have a positive impact on the user's ability to concentrate on topics that will be beneficial in the workforce, better serve the user's mental health, and improve relationships with not only the user's self, but with others. First, all right. So now let's talk about dopamine. This is the neurotransmitter in the brain, and the levels of dopamine contribute to the highs and lows of depression. And that's where we get the manic depression, is where we don't have that many or don't have as many dopamine neurotransmitters right after we get done looking at social media. It's because social media brings just a crazy amount of influx in those neurotransmitters right when we log on. And then social media, yeah, again, yep. Now we're going to talk about the career. So this is an interesting TED Talk I listened to. It was by Cal Newport. He has found that social media developers derive their technologies from Las Vegas casinos. This is crazy. He's found a connection between pulling the lever in the slot machine and scrolling on social media. This addiction can lead to the users spending large amount of time on social media. The time spent scrolling can permanently reduce the user's ability to concentrate on tasks for more than 30 minutes. This makes it really hard working in the workforce. I mean, we got to spend 8 hours there working. So how are we going to do this if our ability to concentrate is decreased really, really significantly? Additionally, Flayout2 and Petri Dish has found that if you are employed or become employed, the use of social media only hurts your ability to get financially a good job. And your incidence of mental health increases with the increased employment time. So, I mean, it's just back to back. Now we'll go to mental health, depression, and anxiety. We got passive and active users, and Yazdavar claims Individuals who don't post much or show signs of depression, this based on the content viewed and shared on social media. Passive users tend to focus more on how others view themselves, which is correlated to depression. So even though they can still post, they tend to focus more on words relating to beautiful, and this is where they got that. And active, these users tend to lie early and often on social media accounts. This is to boost their sense of morale and to show everyone their well-being. Engaging in this type of activity can cause an increase in an individual's anxiety offline because they are constantly living a lie. Sensory overload. Now, social media depicts the worst of the world on a daily basis. This creates a sense of fear in the population. Also, explicit content and constant bad news produce a dulling effect on the individual that decrease our ability to sympathize with others. Again, here we're going to talk about the worst case scenarios. When we step outside the door, we react to the world as if it's online. And this is kind of crazy. Although we may not be consistently thinking about it, it still remains. The adverse effects follow us from our time off social media, and they'll lead to a lower sense of morale in society. So what this is talking about is when we go online and we are constantly scrolling for new data, most of that data is just big news headlines going across, not usually in parts of the world that we don't live in. And when we go outside our door, we are genuinely scared. We're scared to walk out because we're scared to see, because we see how the other parts of the world are functioning, and we don't want that. And so, I mean, and we'll tie this into a little bit later, but this is really, really scary stuff. And then negative view on self, and this is really, really hurtful. Social media increases an individual's need to conform to society to be accepted. We need to be popular. That's what social media does to us. Studies show that we change our personality when going online versus when we are offline, increasing the risk for manic depressive episodes. Content versus reality. Here we go again. This is a concept that is easy to understand but hard to break. Influencers produce, and this is just an example, but influencers produce workout videos in 30 seconds time frame that show their transformation. In reality, the results don't come that fast, and we have to understand our limits and make achievable goals in a reasonable time frame to avoid body shaming ourselves into diseases that can produce life-threatening effects. And I mean, these are just everywhere, and these influencers usually, maybe they're celebrities and they have tons of money, and we want to be like them, and so we try to do what they do, and sometimes our bodies really can't, or can't at that point in time, and so we try to really push ourselves to do this, and we could end up hurting ourselves both physical and mentally. And that's really something that I was really shocked about to understand and learn. But here we go for relationships, or for self and others. Having social media gives us an easy access to many forms of communication outside the workplace, schools, home. But there's risk for potential abusers. Cyberbullying actually has increased profoundly. Abusers use it as a punishment-free source to say hurtful content to their peers. And they can do this without the risk of, going to the principal's office or getting expelled from school because they're home already. They have no risk at all. We see this most commonly in high school adolescents. Again, Srivastava commented on how these actions make the victims have a lack of confidence and have a feeling of self-worthiness. And that's really concerning, especially in high school. We have to be careful what we say and how we say it. When suicide rates have been steadily increasing since 2005 in teenage kids, These kids don't really need a social media in their lives. They go to school every day. They see everyone, but it's really a frightening area that we get we get into when we talk about cyberbullying and its side effects. So now we'll talk about some of these benefits, and I want to hit really big on COVID-19 because that's where a lot of the benefits of social media um, come into the light, and it's really where I think social media really has found a greater good. We'll get to this now. Again, so we got obviously social connectivity. Self isolation is a big sign of depression. So during COVID-19, we were forced to remain at home. Social media had provided an excellent source for its users to stay up to date with others and others around the world. It was really good tool. Also, a great source to find many new friends and communities where similar ideas prevail. So that's what we're going to talk about here for the first one. We're going to talk about internet groups and communities. And Sharma and others, they have actually found that positive social connection in at-risk adolescents with depression or anxiety. They found that teens that go online and join numerous groups of their liking, interact with people from across the globe with similar interests, actually have an increase or a decrease in those symptoms, but it's good. It's positive. That's what we want to see. This helps people with their social anxiety find relief online. When school or work is a stressful environment, which it usually is, social media allows us to decompress and find valuable entertainment. Not even entertainment. We can go on there and we can join these groups and we can actually visually see these kids, their mood just go up, thus creating a sense of belongingness while giving them a modified social connection that they have been, lacking in their lives up till then, face to face. And then here we go. We're going to talk about COVID-19, which is huge. And I just wanted to say, humans we're interactive. So how do we interact while we're stuck at home? And this is really big. Throughout COVID-19, there were many isolated from family, friends, and peers, and this was making it very difficult to find the interaction we need. Depressive symptoms were skyrocketing. Sharman found that throughout social media interaction, if you only got one comment or response to an email or a like on a post, for example, or a retweet, it had a positive effect on reducing depressive symptoms in individuals across the globe. So when we think about this, there's so many people out there, and this goes back to the groups, and not only is it helping them with depressive symptoms and anxiety as well, but it's also getting some social interaction as well, and it's where the individuals feel really comfortable, and that's what I wanted to highlight. So that's it for my overall idea on social media. But I do believe we really do need to limit this social media use in these adolescents and young adults. Just because I really believe the risk outweighs the benefit here, and I really, especially with the suicide rates, I don't want to see that go up anymore. And I think if we all just got outside and face to face, we'd be really more, we'd benefit more. And then here are my resources. And yeah, that's all. Thank you, guys.